Today, in this video, I want to open the Akashic Records of Power. When I did a video on money, one of my community members that I practice Akashic Records with every day said, what if you also open the Akashic Records of Power? And she even said, also open the Akashic Records of Sex, which may be a future video. In this video, I want to cover the Akashic Records of Power. And so I will open the Akashic Records and I will just share literally everything that comes through with you. I will just open them and ask them, what do we need to know about power? And where can we get through power? And how, and all the power struggles that are playing on earth. Do you have any information for us? This is what I'm going to do in this video. So I invite you to take a deep breath and listen with your whole body, because these transmissions are not just words. They are most of the time energetical transmissions that you can maybe feel in your body. You may feel changes happening. I invite you to breathe deeply and to relax. And without any further ado, here is the Akashic transmissions from the Akashic Records of Power. Dear one, thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much for opening these records. Thank you so much for asking this question. It is very peculiar because indeed on your planet there is a lot of power plays at the moment taking place, and still nobody is opening these records on your planet. You are literally the second person that opens these records on your planet. The first one living in the 1600 era. And at this moment, it is very beautiful that you take the time to open these records, because the topic is of big importance. Power is perceived in a multitude of ways. So you have the global stage and the different governments that are at this time-space continuum that you are finding yourself in, losing the grip on their long-lasting power. This is great news for humanity because a new power is arising. Then there is the power, not necessarily of the governments, but of the people that have loads of money or loads of valuable resources, like the oil industry, like the medical industry. This is a very beautiful other way of perceiving power. And also these companies cannot hold the grip anymore on their power. Even the many tactics that they have used to stay in power are at this moment very much crumbling and twinkling, because there is just too much consciousness and too much inventions coming from left, right and center. And because of the cameras and because of the social media, they are not able to sabotage the same way that they were able to do only 50, 60, 70 years ago. This is also great news, because all of your eyes are on the world stage. They cannot do the tactics that way they are supposed to do. And so by watching, by observing, you render these big players, these big executors of power, powerless. You literally make them powerless by observing what is going on in the moment, in the world. This has never been seen before in your timeline, and so it is of great value, because if you go 100 years ago to many of the people that were inventing great inventions that were against the people in power, they would be eradicated in the world and nobody would notice. Maybe 2 weeks or months later, a newspaper came along with a report. But now, all of these things are instant and they are not able to execute these things. Now, there is a certain misconception of power. Lots of people are still believing that the governments or the people and the organizations with lots of money have power. This is not necessarily true. The belief that they have power has more power over an individual than these organizations themselves. Now, to start this transmission, we would love to let you look inward a little bit to see if you have believed that anything has any power over you. For example, money or the lack of money has power over you. Health or the lack of health has power over you. Institutions and organizations have power over you. Another person, a strong dominant man or a strong dominant woman has power over me. As soon as you believe such beliefs, you immediately put a prison over your own freedom. And of course, we are not wanting for you to put a prison on your own freedom. You are a brilliant free soul, a brilliant free spirit. The belief that they have any power over you is the actual prison. It's the actual structure of the prison, not them, not the thing that you point towards has power over you. Never. Only the belief that they have power over you holds that to be true and makes that to be true. So we want to start with saying that if you have any belief, observe it, feel it, acknowledge that you are believing it up to this point, and slowly start to believe that you have the power yourself and nothing else can have your power over you. Let's take a deep breath and feel your inner power. Most power struggles come with a delicate balance of superiority and inferiority. Most power struggles have this balance in play, and actually, most of them are playing on certain emotions or on certain traumas. For example, a certain person that has the emotion of not enough and a lack of self-worth, a person that is very egocentric or even narcissistic, will feel that they are able to have power over that person that has this lack of confidence. This power play will seem like somebody becomes superior and another person becomes inferior. But on a deeper layer, on an energetic layer, it is all based on the emotion and on the patterns that these people are holding inside of themselves. If this lack of confidence was not existing in this person, and this person would just stand their ground and feel their self-worth, the narcissistic person would also not feel the invitation for them to overrule and override. It will simply not happen in that dynamic because that energy is not being able to flow like that. And so, true power is the power of making sure that you are holding the right patterns and the right emotions in your being. With the right patterns and the right emotions, with the right mindset and the right heart set, you have all the power you need. There will be nothing, no government, no institution, no person, no amount of money that can somehow affect that. And you will not be affected by whatever such external factors are doing when you stay centered and grounded, when you work on your self-worth, when you create beautiful beliefs about yourself inside of yourself. Let's take another big deep breath, because this is maybe already said to you from time to time, but if you are listening to this and you feel you would love to have a more sense of power in your life, it is really good to start if you feel truly worthy inside of yourself, if you feel truly a valuable person, no matter what you do. If you are able to hold a vibration of unconditional love towards yourself inside of yourself, there's literally all the power you need in that. No other person can talk you down because you know that you are lovable. No other government or rule or institution can pull a play on you because you know you are lovable and you are worthy. This is true immunity of all the external power struggles that are going on. This is true invincibility to everything that your world is going through right now. And to start this true power that comes from within, it is really, really beneficial to do the work, to become an unconditionally loving person. That is your true job if you want to have a sense of power. Now, how do you become an unconditional loving person towards yourself? We see there are multiple ways. The most obvious way and the fastest way, in our opinion, is to be very honest in looking inside of yourself and being very honest in the many judgments that you are having about yourself. It is not bad that you have these judgments. That's another judgment. You can love yourself from having these judgments. You can love yourself from sometimes blaming yourself. You can love yourself from sometimes feeling not good enough. Love yourself anyway. You can love yourself when indulging in a bad habit as much as in a good habit. You can love yourself when you feel stuck. You can love yourself when you feel powerless. You can love yourself with all the many negative thoughts that you have been entertaining for so long. There is no function that is beneficial for your evolution that is based in the judgment and in the self-blame that you have been entertaining. So why continue with those functions? Why not remove the continuous cycles of blame and judgments and talking down upon yourself and replace them with loving no matter what? That is true unconditionality. Loving no matter what. Love your system. Love your body as it is. Love your quote-unquote bad behavior as it is. This is true liberation. And if you want to really dive deep into this, we highly recommend A Brilliant Soul on Your Planet with the book Loving What Is by Byron Katie. She will show you a very simple 4 questions that can always bring you back to unconditionally loving yourself. Even if in the hardest situations, it only takes 4 questions to retrain your mind and body into a state of love. Start this process if you haven't done so, because that will generate true power inside of yourselves. There are more ways that can really benefit you. One of these ways is massaging yourself and being very gentle and thankful with your body. By physically touching yourself and becoming intimate with yourself, you will start feel more love, even though it might feel unnatural at first. And then there are other ways. We also recommend to a small group of people the use of medicine in therapy sessions with a conscious intention, especially the medicine of the mushroom, the medicine of the cacti, and the medicine of what is called on your planet MDMA. Will all have self-loving properties and capabilities. But if that is too much, we really recommend the medicine and plant medicine of pure cacao, especially if it's sourced from conscious tribes and conscious farms. These medicines are an external way to find the same self-love that you can generate from the other 2 practices that we have just shared. The big important part, if you feel powerless in any way, is to start this process, no matter which route you want to take. So start by loving yourself more and you will feel more power. You will be able to stand up and feel your worth and feel your love. Now, the mind might say, yes, I may do that, but I'm just one person against a whole legion of organizations that are still grabbing and trying to have control and power over humanity. What can I do to make a difference? First of all, you become immune to these legion of organizations. They are not able to touch you anymore. They are not able to affect you. Literally, their tactics will be easily seen by you because your love becomes unshakable. This is good to know. So the first thing is, it's not necessarily that you have to bring these legions of organizations down. It's not even a battle. The mind might let it look like it's a battle. It's you with your self-love against this legion. No, it is not a battle. No, you are not against this legion. You are evolving. So are the lifespan of these organizations. Instead of feeling you have a battle that you have to play it, what if you are both just floating in a river and evolution takes you to a newer state of being? and the river will let everyone who will stand the test of the challenges ahead and will give these people a brilliant life. And everything that is not aligned with truth, this river will sooner or later decompose, and its energy will move again into truth. So, yes, you will become immune, and yes, it is not a battle, it is a flow, it is a form of evolution that you find yourself in. Let's take a deep breath in, and while you breathe in, say to yourself, it is not a battle. You can relax. It is not a fight. This fighting mentality comes from the core belief that you are separate. We are seeing, clear as day, that you are not separate. And so, by you becoming immune to the love, you affect others, even inside these organizations. Because many people inside these organizations think they do good, but they need an example of someone who's truly loving to realize for themselves that they are not loving it like they do as well, and their effect on the world is not just. This effect will create a beautiful ripple effect, even infiltrating into these organizations themselves. So these organizations start to decompose if they are not aligned with truth. And the organizations that are aligned in truth and want to do better for the world start to strengthen just by you embodying this self-worth and self-love. It's an interconnected web, and as soon as your point of the web starts to shine, more points of the web become more invited and inclined to shine. You literally facilitate their awakening. So do not be afraid, and do not believe this is a one versus many battle. This is not true, and this is actually one of the beliefs that is also being infused into the collective, so that a single individual would not being able to stand up because the forces are just too high and too scary to stand up against. This form of separation is again one of their tactics. Then when you start truly loving yourself, becomes clear as day a tactic and not based in truth, and so you can wipe that off your body and still be in truth. And next to that, you are not alone, dear one. There are many doing this work. The number is growing because the intensity is increasing. Because the intensity is increasing, and because all of the eyes are on the world, with all of the cameras, all of the phones, with instant internet connections, what is happening is that humanity is observing itself. Humanity sees more and more truth, and therefore more and more lies coming up to the surface. Literally, you're in a purgatory of the negative, misaligned with truth energies, and it will all come up to the surface. And so you see all the darkness and all the negativity rising, but at the same time it's being uncovered, it's being justified, it's being realigned to a better world. You are not alone in this. You are consisting of a network, and by you stepping into your power, using your love, this will create new power into the universe and into your planet. True power is the power we have been talking about. There is no other ill-intended power that can stand against this. Yes, There have been a lot of power plays. There have been a lot of power struggles. This plays out into relationships. This plays out into the world stage, into different governments, into different countries that shift from government. Some experienced dictatorships, some experienced great democracies and the fall of them, some experienced war and the power of armies and wars. All of that power, even the power struggles of your own good thoughts with your own bad thoughts inside of your mind, they are all based in separation. They are all in their core belief somehow believing they are separate and against another force. Only a shift of mind can change this. And that shift of mind starts with us that are ready to listen to this. You that are here at the end of this video, still listening to this transmission, is someone who is very able to make this shift. Do not think your bad thoughts and your good thoughts are fighting, but they are evolving, and both of them can be loved. That you and your partner are fighting, shift that to you are evolving and both of you can be loved. You automatically move more as a team than as a fighting couple. When you go bigger into organizations, again, don't see them as fighting, see them as evolving. Bring this perspective to wherever you see it. And know that every point of view can be loved. The right step, the right truth will arise from the surface as soon as the fight has been transformed into a flow of evolving consciousness. This is the big message that we would love to convey. We can cover many other topics of power and many other topics of power play. We can go into many individualized moments and situations and events where power played a big role on your planet. But it all will come down to what we have discussed here. We like to take you to the core of the problem, and most of the time the core of the problem is not that difficult to understand and not that difficult to change. It just requires a little shift. We thank all that tuned in to this transmission. Please make sure you drink enough water and to let this knowledge integrate for a little bit. And next to that, some of you that are listening still feel some skepticism about what we have shared and if that is even possible. We like for you to give it a try. Try to make these shifts and try to fully love yourself in all states of being for 1 week. Try it for 1 week. Write it down somewhere where you can see it. And after this week, you can always go back. But try. Instead of letting your mind feel the skepticism, try it out. Experience it for yourself and see if it creates a better life from the inside out. In the highest love and in the highest light, we salute you. You have the power, dear one. Wow. What a transmission. I felt so much love and so much clarity in what just has been shared. I want to thank you for being here. And I would love to hear your feedback on first what resonated, and second, what you want to have me open next. Because my intention is to share a lot of Akashic Record wisdom on this channel. So you will feel resonant or not. You will know if this Akashic Record information that comes through is something that you would like to explore more of. Because I'm very certain that a lot of people, I think even everyone, is able to tap into the Akashic field. It's not that hard. And you can do it too. You can access this kind of wisdom every day. Feel free to let me know which next Akashic Records I can open for you. And for now, I wish you such a blissful rest of your day. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.